Just let me introduce myself really quick. My name is Mark Ross, and I've been an entrepreneur and full-time at home for about 21 years now. Hard to believe looking back. It's amazing how time flies. But I've owned my own private brand on Amazon. I've been very successful in direct sales. I can honestly say I've got 5 kids at home. They've never seen me leave the house for a job in their life. And that's probably my proudest accomplishment as an entrepreneur. But I've also been a crypto investor since about 2017. I bought my first Bitcoin in 2015 because someone just begged me to, and I didn't believe in it. It was just something I thought was just some crazy Ponzi scheme that someone drummed up, Bitcoin, right? And it turned out to be what it is today. So, wow, incredible. But, like I said, I've been an investor since 2017. I also own my own YouTube channel, which I started up, something I do on the side. It's called the Gym Finder. I've got a good size following in my Telegram of people that just are waiting for me to bring out new opportunities. And Tectum is the first project I've ever come across that I decided to actually join the team. Okay. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you my vision for what this is. And, the title of this Zoom, as you know, was that the Softnote Revolution is coming. Okay. You guys are all learning about Softnotes and what they are. I want to kind of start off with a story. A guy, actually, I was listening to an interview just a few days ago. Huge Bitcoin investor. This guy has put, I don't know how many millions of dollars into Bitcoin. He's just enormous. And when he first found out about Bitcoin, he, like myself, he was very skeptical about it. But what really got him was when he learned about blockchain technology, when he learned that Bitcoin was designed to be this transaction that can occur, a currency that can occur anywhere in the world. And it could be sent to people without a third party. No need for banks, no need for institutions to verify it because of the blockchain. That's when he started to see the value. That's when he realized, wow, this is something really special. But I want to tell you, there's some obstacles to Bitcoin. I mean, if we're crypto investors, we all want mass adoption. That's what we want. We want that to happen because we know that when mass adoption happens, it's going to take Bitcoin to a whole nother level. People are talking about $100,000 Bitcoin this year. Eventually $1 million Bitcoin over the next few years, maybe $10 million Bitcoin. And they're talking about how this is going to just continue to grow and grow. But, right now, Bitcoin is primarily, for most people, just an investment. Where they look at it and they think of Bitcoin as like, this is something I can invest in. This is something I can gain as an asset. Because as we know, if you've heard, there's about 18 million or less Bitcoin in circulation now. So it's this deflationary asset. And that's what's really attracting people to Bitcoin. But the challenge right now is, like I said, it's mass adoption, because we need, for Bitcoin to really get to the next level, it needs to be accepted. Your next door neighbor needs to understand what the purpose of it, right? Before it can get to that mass adoption. And so, like I said, the challenges, well, there's slow transaction times. I mean, if you go to a retailer, and what I want to do right now is I want to kind of do a quick screen share and kind of get into what I'm talking about so that we can help explain what the Softnote is and what, all about Tectum and how it relates to it. But as I said, the challenges with Bitcoin is slow transaction times. I mean, you can't go to a retailer right now and buy a cup of coffee and tell them to wait 10 to 30 minutes to get their Bitcoin. It's just ridiculous. So you got slow transaction times. You've got expensive fees, due to mining. You think about the mining that is required, and they talk about, let me find the actual, that's okay. I'll just get back to that later. There was actually if you look at these huge rigs, these huge facilities that contain these rigs, the mining, the electricity that's required. There's a lot of, environmentalist people complaining. We heard Elon Musk talk about, the aspects of the environmental aspects. Like, he doesn't think that Bitcoin's environmentally friendly. Now, I'm not one of those people, but that's what you're hearing, the criticisms of Bitcoin and the blockchain and the way it's actually can be utilized. And so I want you to kind of think about those challenges, and then I want to introduce you to Tectum. Okay. Tectum, as you can see here on this page, is currently, not in development, but currently the fastest blockchain in the world. Okay. There, if you want to compare it, I want you to go on the Tectum website. I'm not going to get into a lot of the details of that right now, but I want you to go to this website and I want you to compare it to other currencies and their ability, how fast they can do transactions, because Tectum is about 3 to 4 times faster than the second fastest blockchain in the world. Okay. And that alone should help you realize that there's tremendous potential. As a matter of fact, when I discovered Tectum myself, that was the first thing that got me into it. I bought my first Tectum tokens as a result of that. Someone who was a developer was already developing a project on the Tectum blockchain, and they told me to take a look. So I did, and I'm an investor, right? I take chances. But when I found out about their flagship product, the Softnote, it talks about the Softnote here. That's what really blew me away. Okay. Now, as I told you before, and some of you have probably seen my video, if you go into a coffee shop and you buy a cup of coffee, again, right now, it's just absolutely not realistic to buy it with Bitcoin. Okay. You just can't do it. You can't tell the person who's going to sell you that cup of coffee that you're sending them Bitcoin, wait 10 minutes, wait 30 minutes. And oh, by the way, I'm going to spend about a $5 to $7 fee. It's just not realistic to the retail customer. Okay. Or maybe you're going into a supermarket and you want to buy, groceries, you want to buy things in the supermarket. Again, right now that mass adoption is not happening because the end consumer can't see Bitcoin and say, yeah, it just makes sense. I'm going to use it. I'm going to take this and I'd rather use this than dollars. Right now, that's not happening. So enter the Softnote, folks. That's what makes this revolutionary. And what the Softnote is going to do is it's actually going to make it so that mass adoption can happen, because I don't think mass adoption was really possible until the Softnote. Let me help you understand. This is an example of what would be a Bitcoin Softnote. Okay. This one is worth 0.00001. Right now, that's probably about 47 cents, give or take, in Bitcoin. Okay, so you can get those denominations all the way down to that, all the way up to 1 Bitcoin. And you guys can, again, you can learn about that as you do more research. But just to help you understand what this means, and I want you to get the big picture. Think about this. Let's say you go into a retail store and you tell the retailer, you tell the owner of that store, you go up to him and you say, let me ask you something. How would you like to start being able to receive Bitcoin? Because, most of these store owners, they've all heard of Bitcoin. And a lot of them are investors. They say that about 20% of the population right now owns a Bitcoin, especially in the United States, but all over the world. And you tell them, what if I could allow you to receive Bitcoin from your retail customers, and they would not have to spend even a dime to actually give it to you? No fees, and they could do it instantly. How many retailers would say, wow, absolutely, I would love to do that, because they know that up until now, that's not been possible. Well, that's what the Softnote is. So they tell them, set up a Tectum wallet. They give them the referral link. And from that point forward, that particular retailer can begin to receive Softnotes. They could actually say, that particular retailer could put up a sign that says, we accept Bitcoin. So someone comes in with their Bitcoin and they say, well, I'll tell you what, I'll allow you to send me Bitcoin if you'll set up a Tectum wallet and you'll get your Softnotes. So this is how slowly but surely mass adoption will occur. And I know that sounds like it's going to take 10 years to happen, but it won't, folks. You got to realize word of mouth can happen very, very quickly. And what the Softnote is going to do for people is it's going to allow them to cross that retail boundary that was never possible before. That's what Softnotes are doing. And it's not just in Bitcoin. Okay, it's eventually it's going to happen in other currencies. I mean, you guys heard of Elon Musk saying that he wants McDonald's to start accepting Dogecoins. Is that practical? Absolutely not. He knows it, but with a Softnote, it is. Okay. There's also, as we come out, we're going to bring out the USDT Softnote. Okay, this is the stable coin. We're going to have Softnotes for the stable coin. But these are just examples of what would happen if we had Tron. What would happen if we had Litecoin? So the possibilities of this, folks, are absolutely endless. And let me tell you something. What Softnotes are going to do is it's going to really help Bitcoin become what it was meant to become. Okay, this ability to actually transact without the banks, okay, without the major institutions, without government intervention. That's what Bitcoin was meant to be in the first place, okay? And that's what the Softnote Revolution is. What you want to do, think of this, okay? You can get into these soft notes eventually. Now, these are coming out officially in May. This is the ground floor, guys. Right now, you're looking at, as you can see on this website, a $1 Tectum token right now, okay? Until we reach the soft cap, which is 2.5 million tokens. We are getting there very, very quickly, okay? Right now, there's just over 600,000 left until we reach that soft cap. So what you guys are at right now, you guys are in the absolute best place possible that you could ever be if you want to get access to this before the masses find out about it. Because folks, once the masses find out about it, they're going to realize, you know, what it's capable of. And just like any other cryptocurrency, they're going to start investing. Okay, this summer we're going to hit the centralized exchanges. And when we do, I want to give you kind of an example. If you look at some of these other cryptocurrencies, starting with Bitcoin, Ethereum, you know, working your way down, you got the Binance token, you got Solana, okay? Solana does, I believe, I can't remember how many transactions, but I think it's 20,000 transactions, maybe even 120,000. I don't remember what it was, but that's like 10 times less than what Tectum token can do. You look at Terra Luna, okay? These are blockchains, Cardano. Look at these. When you look at them, you realize that these are blockchain technologies that are going to allow projects to develop on their blockchain, okay? Tectum is going to, of course, be able to do the same thing, allow other projects to get started on their blockchain. But what they also have is this incredible use case, as you know, called the Softnote, which is going to cross the retail boundary. It's going to get average people to say, wow, it really makes sense for me to get these Bitcoins and actually start buying things with them. But it also makes Bitcoin pretty much the best possible investment you can get, right? Because you can store it on a soft note and keep it as long as you want to as it continues to grow in value. As Bitcoin grows in value, your soft note, of course, is going to be worth more. It's really the best way to have that investment. So this is Tectum. This is what I wanted to get out to you guys. I want to open it up to Alex and to Trevor. Is Trevor with us as well, Alex?
Yes, Trevor should be here, Mark. I saw him on the list.
Okay. Did you guys have anything you wanted to add before we open up to some questions that people might have?
Oh, I think you're doing just great. But okay. Yeah, if there are any questions for me or for to Trevor, we would be glad to answer.
If you guys have any questions, I want you guys to just unmute your mic and just come on out and ask any questions that you might have. Anybody have any questions? Everything pretty straightforward?
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Glenn.
Yeah, I was talking to my buddy there, Bill Singleton. I think he talked to you about it. Just kind of the plan to go to 2x on the price, the $1 price, and then it going to 760. We're just kind of fuzzy on how that's going to proceed. If you can help us to understand that, it'd be great.
Yeah, we're going to be rolling that out. Alex and I are actually developing a schedule for that, a plan, and the next step is to bring it up to $2. Right now, as you guys know, it's $1. And what we want to do is we want to gradually increase that. You know, we could sell it right now for $10, $50, whatever we want to sell it for, right? This is for early investors, obviously. This is for the first movers, the people that are excited about the project. Guys, this thing is in its absolute infancy right now. And if you guys understood that, let me give you an example of what is the potential. I want you to look at some of these other cryptocurrencies. Again, what I talked about is these are blockchain projects that are allowing other people to come on and create their projects because they want to use the ecosystem within these blockchains. These are different blockchains. Tectum is all that and more. Okay, we've got a tool, again, that's going to cross the retail boundary. But what if we were just a blockchain, like all the rest of them? I would still tell you that Tectum has the opportunity to be in the top one of these tokens. Okay. And if you look at their market caps, okay, let's just take Tron, for instance. They have a market cap of a little over 7 billion, as you can see right there. Can you guys see that?
Yep.
Okay. You look at their supply, circulating supply, 100, what is that? 100 billion. Okay. 100 billion supply, which thus gives you a price of about 7 cents, as you can see, a little over 7 cents. So what does that mean for the Tectum token? You guys are getting it right now at $1, which is absurd, because you know what? The token supply is 10 million, only 10 million tokens. That means in order for it to be valued at $1 on the exchanges, you're talking about a $10 million market cap, which is nothing. Okay. You look at these multi-billion dollar market caps, but if you look at, let's just go back to Tron. Okay. Again, Tron could argue its use cases. It could tell you how valuable it is to the marketplace and everything, but they don't have soft notes. They are not going to open the world to mass adoption of not just Bitcoin, but cryptocurrency itself because of these soft notes. So you talk about speculation. When the speculators go to see the vision of what Tectum is bringing to the marketplace and its use case, how it's going to actually change the world and allow people mass adoption at small retail stores to be able to spend and use Bitcoin or any other currency that we bring out on the soft note. When they see the vision of that, a $7 billion market cap is, I mean, it's still, again, that's nothing. Okay. But let's say we get to where Tron is right now. It's number 25. Okay. A $7 billion market cap makes a Tectum token with a full circulation of 10 million tokens. It turns it into a $700 token. Okay. Does that make sense? And so when you're looking at these, you know, right now, you guys that are the early adopters of Tectum, you guys are going to be some of the first people to mint soft notes. What's the motivation of someone who's in Tectum to mint soft notes? Is to get out there and spread the word, right? I mean, we have right now a referral system. Okay. Does Tron have a referral system? No. Tron just says invest in our technology, speculate it, hope the price goes up, and they've reached 7 billion. We've got something that's going to go viral. The use case alone, whenever you look at soft notes have an incredible use case that no other cryptocurrency can offer on the planet, not even Bitcoin, right? And there's only 10 million of them, 10 million of these Tectum tokens. That's the reason I joined this team, guys, because the possibilities are endless, and there's only so much I can share with you right now. I'm going to be putting together a new presentation that's going to try to share this entire vision, okay, on a video, and I'm going to put it in 3 stages so that you guys can refer people to it. And it's going to give it from like stage 1, 2, and 3. It's going to really help people understand the full vision of what Tectum is going to become and what soft notes will be to the crypto industry. Okay. But I hope you guys are starting to get a picture of what's possible. Okay. We're going to actually make Tron, speaking of Tron, we're going to make Tron more valuable when we create the Tron soft note. Tron itself is going to be more valuable. People are going to want to use it more, right? It's going to make Tron more popular. Any currency you can think of. And a 7 billion market cap, I think, is nothing. I could definitely see us going to beyond a 10 billion market cap, but these are just speculations. I'm not sitting here I'm not giving you guys financial advice. I'm not telling you guys what to do. I'm just inviting you to this same vision of what I have and why I believe the potential is there. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. Anybody else have any questions?
Yeah, this is Albert Price. I wondered if I could ask at some point in the presentation if someone could walk us through from the time you take your Tectum token, exchange it for a TEC, and then mint a soft note, to loading it to a couple of cycles in the marketplace and the the 1% fee, and then also when somebody who owns the soft note says, "Okay, I've had enough," you burn it. If you could go through that whole life cycle of it at some point, I'd really appreciate that.
Yeah, I could make an attempt to do that. And Alex, I want you to correct me if I make any mistakes.
Oh, absolutely. I'm here, Mark.
Yeah, but I want you to kind of think about this, Albert. So let's say you want to mint Softnote. Well, there's two people. There's the liquidity provider and there's the minter. Okay, so the person who is going to mint Softnotes is going to take 100 Tectum tokens and mint 100 Softnote bills. Okay, and Alex, if you want to send me the chart of what it looks like, if you do you have that ready?
Yeah, definitely.
If you want to show me
absolutely.
that way, I can kind of show him the denominations. If you want to just shoot that to my Telegram, and I can pop that up. But Albert, basically, what that's going to do for you is it's going to allow you to mint 100 Bitcoin Softnote bills, and these are in all the different denominations. And I'm waiting for Alex.
I heard about that last week at the AMA.
Okay, good.
Meeting.
Okay,
so I got all that.
Thanks. Okay, good. So and so what you're doing as the minter is you're creating the notes, but the notes themselves, the soft notes, they don't have any value yet. They're waiting for a liquidity provider to come in and give it value. Do you follow me so far?
Absolutely.
Okay, so the small investor comes in, let's say Joe, for instance, or you, Albert, you come into your Tectum wallet and you're not, okay, soft notes are available. We can now get them. I'm going to load my wallet up with Bitcoin and I'm going to mint $100 worth of soft notes right now. Okay, so you decide to mint 2 different soft notes that are worth $50 in Bitcoin each. Just throwing the number out there. I'm not saying it's exactly like that, but I'm just throwing out that denomination, right? So now you pay your transaction fee, you pay your 1%, and you now have 2 Tectum soft notes worth $50 each. Follow me so far?
Yes.
Okay. The person who minted those soft note bills has now had those bills filled with liquidity. And from now on, if you take them out to the retail market, they're going to share in 20% of that 1%. They also made 20% of the 1% once you minted it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You can actually refer people into this, and it makes sense to become a minter of soft note bills because you want to see mass adoption. You not only want to see, you believe in the vision. You're here because you really want to take this vision to the world. Okay. And that's something that I think a lot of people are going to have a passion for. There's already so many people in crypto right now that have a passion for seeing mass adoption happen. So you're enabling, as a mentor of Softnote bills, you're actually enabling mass adoption of crypto, but of course, mass adoption of soft notes, of which you can also build a team of people that you personally refer, and it goes, there's 2 more levels after that. So you refer people, they refer people, they refer people, where you get 10%, 5%, 5%. Did you know that, Albert?
Yes.
Okay, you knew that too. So there's that vehicle for actually making this viral, just based on, Tectum tokens. So every time people in that organization purchase Tectum tokens, you're getting paid. And every time they mint Softnote bills, you're getting paid. And every time they give Softnote bills to retailers who accept them as a form of payment, you're getting paid. That's actually what's going to help propel that mass adoption because of that incentive. Okay, but I want you to think about this. Does that answer your question, or do you need more?
No, I understand that up to that point. So when I'm tired of,
okay, so when you want to cash it out. Okay, right. Good question. Excellent question. Alex, you're going to have to help me on this because I'll admit I'm a little fuzzy on that part, but I will tell you this much. And Alex, you can fill in the blanks. So you got a soft note, it's worth $50 in Bitcoin, and you want to cash it out. You're like, I want my Bitcoin. I don't want a soft note anymore. If you were to decide to cash out the soft note, you would burn the soft note. There are fees associated with that, and on purpose. Number one, for Tectum revenues. But number two, because we really want to prohibit the burning of soft notes. We don't want people to burn soft notes. We want them to use them. We want them to exchange them. Okay. So in order to really prohibit that, not only do we have fees, but we're also going to be setting up exchanges. I want you to think of this like an NFT. I want you to look at this soft note and think of it as a digital NFT. It can become paper. If you want to print it up, it's going to have its own wallet address. It's going to have its own serial number. It's going to have everything that you want it to have to prove that it's valid. Okay. But on top of that, it's going to be something that we want you to keep using and we want it to circulate. So we're going to be setting up Softnote exchanges. Consider an NFT exchange. You know, when you go to that NFT exchange, you find NFTs for sale, right? And then you find people trading them, and you see the value of those NFTs grow. Well, this is going to be for the purpose of the value of the Softnote, to keep it in existence, to keep it in circulation. There's going to be people there that say, you know, rather than having to mint a Softnote, I'd rather just buy one and not pay that 1% fee, right? So you can go to that exchange and you can say, I've got a Softnote for sale. Who wants to buy it for $50 USD? Or who wants to give me Bitcoin for it? And you're going to find somebody on that exchange that wants to buy it from you rather than you turn around, burn it, and cash it in. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I just wanted to hear about the takeout for an individual note holder. You know, what the process is for that. Okay,
Alex, you can help me with that one.
Yeah, I would love to, Mark. Well, basically, our community is always going to be comprised of people, users who came in because they want to utilize the fast and cheap crypto payments capabilities. And second group from the people who came in to receive residual income, to receive reward. And the goal of the system and the design of the system revolves around the idea, the paradigm of justice for both of those groups. Because if we fully give away soft notes, soft note bills for circulation to the first group, then there would be no liquidity providers, and there would be no minters, because those people would not be motivated. They would have no incentive to pour their liquidity into the system. And on the other hand, if we focus solely on reward for the second group, then the first group would be would end up paying too high of fees. In this case, what would make us better than what everybody else is doing right now? You know what I'm saying? So the short answer to your question is the logic, the rationale behind burning of soft note bill, and that's what you're really talking about right now, about cashing out, is the costs should be prohibited. They definitely will be prohibited. But on the other hand, the costs of burning soft note bill, they should not be punishing. So this is not, it's not that we're trying to punish you for trying to cash out and for trying to burn that $50 soft note bill. But the question is, the liquidity provider and the minter invested into the existence of that soft note bill. For example, I paid $7.60 to mint that soft note bill, and the liquidity provider invested $50, which he really did not invest $50. Liquidity provider only invested the actual Bitcoin fees, because every soft note bill, Bitcoin soft note bill, does have its own designated Bitcoin address. Basically, kind of like a paper wallet, but not really. And let's say it costs you $5 to transfer $50 worth of Bitcoin to that Bitcoin designated address. So therefore, the overall costs to create that soft bill was $7.60 plus $5. Plus, Tectum blockchain always means a tech coin, which is our performance index. And the tech coin is backed by Bitcoin by live Bitcoin balance. So we're kind of like restoring the gold rule, you know. So that's about another $2.5–3. So you take that $7.5 roughly dollars plus $5. What is it, like 12.5 plus another $2.5? So you end up with a cost of $15 to burn a soft node bill. Why? Because liquidity provider needs to be compensated their Bitcoin fees. Because when you become a liquidity provider, you what you do, you provide $50 of liquidity plus $5 of Bitcoin fee, which is fee paid not to Tectum network. It's a fee paid to Bitcoin network to transfer that amount of Bitcoin once and forever to that soft node bill address, designated address. It happens only once, but we must do it because it's Bitcoin network. It's their rules. It's not our rules. But once we do it once, we don't ever have to do it again. And
right,
that 15,
I understand that, and so the burning of the soft node, I was not aware of the marketplace where if I wanted to get my money back out and I'm a liquidity provider, I could go to the marketplace and just sell it to someone else. So that's
Right.
great. That answered my question about it.
okay.
I would still like an example of the transaction roadmap. So somebody buys, let's say a 1/10,000th of a Bitcoin soft note, and which is what, about $5 right now. So he buys coffee with it, and the merchant, net fees and everything gets the soft note. What is the merchant who then needs to pay his staff? How does he?
I see. You're taking it one step further. I got you. I understand your question. It's a very good question. You see, we're going. Yeah, we are doing the same thing with a liquidity provider. You see, that's what liquidity provider does. Liquidity provider gets his 20% also, 20% cut from the overall revenues. But in order to become liquidity provider, you need to agree to two things. First, you pour your liquidity into soft nodes, and second, you change soft node bills. So which actually is going to translate into one single action. Let's say I am the retailer, okay, and I ended up at the end of the day with $1,001 soft node bills. What am I gonna do with those soft node bills? I cannot burn them because it's gonna cost me $3 to $5 to burn every one of them, and they're only $1 a piece. So definitely, I'm not going to burn them. So I need to sell them, or I need to convert them, or I need to change them. And that's what I do for liquidity provider. Liquidity provider provides me with one single $1,000 soft node bill, which I successfully burn or sell using a Telegram bot, which we're going to present to your view in about like 2-3 weeks. We're actually going to do live demonstration, and Mark will show it to you, show it to everybody how easily it can be done. Because the soft node trade all boils down to swapping pin codes. There is no more long and very dangerous to disclose, expose private keys, right? And what we're gonna do, we're gonna show how easy a $10,000 or $1,000 USDT soft node bill can be swapped for 0.025 in Bitcoin soft node bills. And in this case, it will be like 7 Bitcoin soft node bills and 1 USDT soft node bill. 1 USDT soft node bill will be swapped for 7 Bitcoin soft node bills. Well, assuming Bitcoin is $50,000 a piece. So we just kind of trying to keep it simple for ourselves. So yes, you're correct. The conversion really will be the key for retail users. And we intend to solve this problem by putting it on the shoulders of liquidity providers, giving them the piece of the action, giving them the additional source of reward and or revenues from a circulation of those soft node bills.
But Albert, I want to make sure this concern you have gets answered fully. I want you to think about this. Put yourself in the shoes of a retailer. They've just received, for instance, $50 worth of Softnote bills for whatever service they're providing, whatever product they're providing, whether it's clothes or restaurant, whatever it is. There's going to be this is going to be a slow adaptive process. This isn't going to happen overnight, like where the government announced, hey, everybody's using Softnotes. And if that were to happen, it'd be even easier, But a lot of these retailers, if you're an investor, I mean, these retailers are entrepreneurs. They like owning Bitcoin. They like accumulating Bitcoin. And slowly but surely, they're going to start receiving Softnote bills and promoting Softnote bills. They're going to be part of our mission. They're going to take up the mission. They're going to say, wow, I want Softnotes to be all over the world because they just make so much sense. And they're going to want to collect them. And slowly but surely, it's not like day one, they're going to get, $1,000 worth of Softnote bills and not know what to do with them, right? They're going to collect them. And every time they get, it's going to give them an opportunity to collect an asset, Bitcoin, slowly but surely through their business as they retail their products. And should they decide to turn around and exchange that back to fiat, they're going to have a marketplace ultimately that allows them to do that for free. Okay. Does all that make sense, Albert?
Yeah. I just wanted to see the off ramp in the meantime. I mean, obviously most
of
the world,
yet.
Yeah, no, but the off ramp being the exchange. So if I'm a retailer and I got to take, one of my Bitcoin notes and convert it back into fiat so I can pay my taxes, then I get fiat from the exchange sale. But otherwise, I have to, as a retailer, I have to be in the Tectum ecosystem to use the soft notes and keep them and trade them and things like that.
What I would do if I were a retailer getting into this, first off, is I would start accepting Softnote bills, but the main thing is from their customers. So they're gonna start inviting their customers by saying, we accept Bitcoin here. And people are going to come in and say, hey, I see you accept Bitcoin. How do I do this? And they're going to say, hey, you need to set up a Tectum wallet and you need to start using Softnotes. And it's going to make more sense to the consumer because they're not going to say, well, but I wanted to buy that pair of jeans from you for $30 in Bitcoin. Okay, well, if
but
you
I
just
only
buy
have
it with
$50,
Bitcoin,
but I only have $50 bill. Where am I going to get $20 change? And here goes that liquidity provider who just got loaded with smaller denomination bills. Now he's getting rid of those smaller denominations because somebody needs a change.
Exactly.
Cycle lags.
Right. No, I get that. That makes a lot of sense. I was unclear on it. I think I have the mechanism pretty well in mind. One other thing that's kind of off this particular topic is that if you have, let's say you got a $20 or Bitcoin soft note and its velocity is 75 times a year, 100 times a year. You're obviously making a percentage of all those commercial related transactions. So using that return, say annual return on investment based on the velocity of each note, you could then make an estimate on future price of the Tectum tokens.
Exactly.
based on say a 50% return. So if you're showing 300% a year and somebody's happy with 50, that's a 6x right there for your token.
Exactly.
Okay, you've answered my questions. Thanks a lot.
Awesome. Thanks a lot for coming on and asking. Anybody else have any questions they want to bring?
Yeah, actually, Matthew in the chat, Mark asked a very good question. That's actually the same old good question. He's asking, okay, I don't understand, especially if you're doing other cryptos, how would 10 million serialized bills substantiate mass adoption? They won't, Matthew. That tokens go back into the system. Look, you purchased 1,000 TED tokens from a system, right? And in May or June, when system goes goes commercial, you decide to mint 1,000 Softnote bills. What's going to happen with 1,000 tokens that you have? You're going to give it back to us in exchange for the Softnote bills, correct? Then what are we going to do with those 1,000 tokens? We're gonna roll it back out for sale. So you see, that tokens designed to rotate. They designed to circulate perpetually in motion, constantly being released back into circulation for those new participants, new partners who would want to receive that next Softnote bill, to mint that Softnote bill, because Softnote bills can be minted only with that token, which basically makes that token a mint token. If that answered your question, Matthew.
Yeah, that answers my question. But I mean, is there going to be a limit to what? I mean, I understand this is going to be going on in exchange, but I mean, I don't know how many people would, say for $10, buy a Tectum to do one serialized, bill, or if it goes, $100. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can understand $1 for one, but I mean, if it starts going, creeping up, I don't know. Maybe you gotta.
Well, as far as our very good question, Matthew. Very good question. As far as mathematics are concerned, at 72 cycles per year, and we did not pull it out of the thin air. It's a Federal Reserve statistic, by the way, and it's not 72. We went below Federal Reserve statistics. Federal Reserve statistic is 75. That $20 bill changes hands 75 times a year, and the $5 bill changes hands 110 times a year. Okay, so we took 72. We took 72, 5 per month, and which is like below. And having said that, we also went very modest about share of payments subject to 1% fee. Basically, which fees, which payments we are going to tax with that 1%, and we went with 20%, which is very low because the normal proportion is about 60%. So 3 out of 5 transactions have commercial nature, which means they're done for profit. The rest, 40%, is like you give money to your kids, you send money to your wife, blah blah blah. But 3 payments out of 5 have commercial nature, commercial or retail nature. And taking that into consideration, with ROI of going back to what Glenn just said, with ROI, expected ROI, if we cannot call it ROI right now, everybody needs to understand that, because this is not Softnote is not a regulated currency. So what ROI is just a base term we're using for everybody to be able to understand it easy, but it actually is a reward. So, and with an annual reward of 100%, which is very high again, and 60% of all payments subject to 1% fee, and with bills handover per annum 72 times, that token, the price of a mint will be $32.75. So at $32.75, it still makes sense to buy Tectum token. And it's just a simple math. Federal Reserve statistics, nothing which was pulled out of the thin air. Everything is Federal Reserve statistic. If it makes sense, Matthew.
Gotcha.
Alex, I have another quick question. So there's a hard cap of 10 million on the Tectum token, but is there a cap on the soft notes? Because you're recycling the Tectum tokens as their exchange.
to mint more soft notes. Absolutely right. Absolutely
Okay.
correct. No, there is no cap on the soft notes. Why
Okay.
should we
Okay.
put a cap? Why should we put a cap on the soft note if Brazil decides to legalize to make Bitcoin their second currency, and suddenly another 300 million people decide to start using Bitcoin? Why would we say no to that?
Well, no, you shouldn't. And so I wasn't aware that that's part of the scalability of it, is the increase in the number of soft notes as the Tectum tokens turn over.
Yeah, in May, by the end of May, we're gonna show you a live, dynamically minted and burned soft note bill, and it will be in two values: Bitcoin and USDT. And also, by the end of May, hopefully before that, we're gonna show you in a live version a soft note trading bot. It will be released in open source. Anybody will be able to download it from our GitHub page, install it in their Telegram group, and anybody in the world will be able to trade USDT, digital American dollars, for soft notes with zero commission and absolutely instantly.
Any thoughts about being able to load some kind of commodity onto the soft note in the future?
Well, soft note is commodity. It's a transport of value.
Right. Well, I'm saying a hard physical commodity like gold or silver.
To our knowledge, and we've been around the block for we've been dealing with this for second decade already. The team itself, Tectum team itself, and from our experience, the only way to attach digital entity to physical entity we were able to came up with is to pour 1 cubic meter of gold, which weighs exactly 19.6 tons, and put it on a live weights in front of a bank, right on the outside of the bank branch in Zurich, and put it on cameras so everybody could walk up to it and touch it and make sure it's gold, and then make sure it weighs 19.6 tons. We weren't able to find any other way of being able legitimately throughout the world, crossing over different multiple jurisdiction, conflicting laws, conflicting legislation. We weren't able to find any other solution which would instill confidence in the mass user, unfortunately.
Right. I don't see any trusted sources that even exist for doing something like that. But thank you. I know people have been talking about that for a long time.
People have been talking about that, but so far I'm yet to see one successful project which would be able to allow me to cash out $50 or $100 in pure gold if I decide to leave the game.
Understood. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Good question, though. Awesome. Albert, who invited you to Tectum?
I actually, there was a newsletter that I received monthly, and there was a kind of a story about a new crypto that was going to really revolutionize. So I started searching on DuckDuckGo for, new super fast cryptos. And that's when I ran across you guys. I've had experience in some of the other platforms, the Cardano system, other systems like that. And so I'm very interested in fast transaction, million plus TPS. And I actually followed the hash graph concept several years ago. So I was very pleased to learn that you guys were using that type of logic and protocol.
Awesome. Yeah, you sound like a really educated, person. So probably smarter than I am, I'm sure. Appreciate you being on the team and getting in here and asking those great questions. If you got any more, don't hesitate.
Yeah, well, actually, just to throw like a 1 minute sentence to that 1 million transactions per second. You see, the blockchain is blockchains normally, and we call them legacy blockchains, unfortunately, Um, uh, they don't have topology. Their network doesn't have topology. The base UDP principle, UDP protocol principle, is applied, and the node connects to the next closest node. I'll give you an example. In Bitcoin network, in order for transaction to become accepted by the network, enough 6 confirmations. The most recent transaction I have conducted on Bitcoin network received 1,500 confirmations. That's to very least it's highly excessive, don't you think? I mean, why would you load network with 1,500 confirmations? I mean, this is all work to be done by somebody, you know, it's all resources consumed. Why would you want 1,500 transactions when only 6 are required?
Right. Well, that's why it's an old legacy system.
That's why we call them legacy systems.
Yeah.
They don't have topology. We have very strict, firm topology and algorithm which defines that topology, and it does it like literally several times per second. Our network redraws network map not like twice an hour, and not like every minute. It does it several times per second, which makes it literally unbreakable, because I mean, there is literally no technology right now available. It's technologically impossible to break network which changes its map, changes its all internal lateral and vertical connections 5 times per second.
Yeah, I like the concept of your random node selection for the next transaction cycle.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's a topology I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, I understand.
And plus profound network protocol, which came from like years and years of studying, you know. We're not using conventional commutation of packets. We're using commutation of channels. And I don't know how proficient most of our visitors are, but it's like a difference between you and me trying to have a conversation, for example, in a public place, and every time you talk to me or I talk to you, we have to shake hands and ask each other's names over and over again. I mean, how many times you have to shake my hand before you get tired of that and say, Alex, for God's sake, I already know you. Your name is Alex. We shook hands already 7 times. I mean, can we just please have a dialogue? But that's what commutation of packets is. Every time a node connects to another node, it must go through the handshake, which is very time and energy consuming process.
Sounds good. Anybody else have any questions or anything they want to bring?
Mark Bill Singleton, I got a quick question. When the retailer accepts that soft note, and when he goes to redeem it, does the fluctuation in the Bitcoin price affect his redemption price?
Well, the answer is very simple, sir. If you choose to deal with Bitcoin soft notes, then you have to accept the rules of denominations of those soft note bills. So they are strictly denominated. 401, which is about like 50 American cents right now. Then 402, it's about $1. Then 301, which is $5, and on and on and on and on, all the way up to $1,000 bill. Well, all the way up to 1 Bitcoin bill, actually. But if you want, if you are attached, if you're a retailer and you are attached to American dollar value, then please mint yourself USDT soft notes, or buy yourself USDT soft notes at their face value. using
Yeah, so they would
Telegram
fluctuate, in
bot.
other words. Yeah, I mean, so
Yeah,
it's going to be
they
worth whatever it is in Bitcoin.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yep. Because it is Bitcoin. I mean, a soft note is Bitcoin. That's what you got to realize. It's not just a representation of Bitcoin. It is Bitcoin.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a very good point Mark just made. Softnote is not backed by Bitcoin. Softnote is Bitcoin.
Yep. It's Bitcoin in a better form. That's what it is.
Can
It's
I
like
ask
a
a question?
transformed Bitcoin. Go ahead, Matthew.
All right. So say I have, I have 1,000 Tectum, and I am not going to be a liquidity provider. So I'm going to take those Tectum. I'm going to mint 1,000 serialized bills. I'm blank bills. They're not going to have any value to them. Where would I get those bills or sell those bills or whatever to the liquidity provider to put money on there?
That's another very good question. You know, it might sound profound, but we already have a few institutional and commercial liquidity providers really ready to roll in and fill large quantities of soft note bills with liquidity. They're willing to come in and take in even if we take this out of equation, the mobile app released, Softnote mobile app, will actually have an option of becoming micro liquidity provider to a regular user. Basically, it's going to look like this. Let's say I am in somewhere Southeastern Asia and I want to buy a pair of jeans and I got a Softnote app, right? And I press a button to acquire a Softnote. Immediately, I receive two offers. First, to purchase that Softnote bill for the face value of $100, or to mint that Softnote bill for $103. And obviously, why would I want to pay $3 extra if I can pay only $100, because I only need $100 in Bitcoin. So, and then I get explanation. Pop-up window gently explains me that if I become liquidity provider, the Softnote bill basically will become my investment vehicle for the rest of its lifetime. 20% of its from circulation thereof. So every time my $100 bill changes hands and generates 1%, which is $1, I get 20 cents for the lifetime of that bill.
Forever.
Why not invest $3? Because in reality, I'm not investing $100 because that $100 I'm gonna immediately spend when I buy that pair of jeans, and I get change of like $20, $25, whatever. But my real investment is $3. In that respect, I am not much deeper involved than a minter who spent $7.60 to mint a Softnote bill. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're
so-
saying about that, but I mean that's going to go based on,
random
right,
pick,
so-
random pick.
right. But
System-
I mean, okay, so I'm going to get a pop-up saying, do you want to mint the bill? I'm going to be minting that bill based on the current value of the tech at that point, or
You will be minting bill on the based on the principle one to one. So 100. That's why we're limited. The purchase is limited to minimum of 100 TED tokens, because the minimum package is 100 Softnote bills. So
right,
you
but
will.
I mean, that person that's going to be minting and being their own mini liquidity provider for that. I mean, they're going to have to buy the Tectum from somewhere, and I guess it's going to.
Not necessarily. Because most you see, these are two different types and different grades of users. We need to understand that those who have early adapters, they came in. Most of you came in exclusively to to make profit. So you buy that Tectum mint token as cheap as possible, and you convert it into the Softnote bills. And then somebody who wants to become liquidity provider or who is incentivized to become liquidity provider, they basically use your Softnote bill. You as a minter, you will never see that Softnote bill. It's not really yours because the Softnote bill.
So that person that's going to be their own mini liquidity will potentially be buying my serialized,
He's not buying; he's getting it for free.
Okay. But
he's getting it for free from you.
Okay, but then I'm getting a portion of the lifetime of that bill going throughout
every time it circulates. Yep.
Yes.
And
yes.
how does those funds go back to me? I mean, I understand is it going back into your Tectum wallet, or
it's going back to your Tectum wallet? That's when the power of Tectum will show itself. Million transactions per second. We intend to do it in a real-time mode.
So the funds that you get for the lifetime of that, just whatever that percentage is just automatically going to be thrown into the person that minted its wallet, Tectum wallet.
We intend to distribute it. At least our beta version will be distributing proceeds in a real-time mode. Yes, sir.
And is it
I want you guys to get a vision. I want you guys to think about something. Go ahead, Matthew.
Well, I'm sorry. Last thing, and I'll come off the air. I'm sorry. Is okay. the revenue that you're going to get, is that going to be in TET or will it be in Bitcoin? What will that?
It will be in the value of that Softnote bill. If a Bitcoin Softnote bill will generate Bitcoins, USDT Softnote bills will generate USDTs. Everything is simple and sense making.
Understood. Thank you.
Yep. So think about this, guys. In order for this to actually take place, we know it's going to take years. Okay. We don't expect Softnotes to show up on every retail store, by this time, even next year. This is something that's going to take time.
Or maybe why not? Or why not?
We don't know. But the bottom line is, here's what I want you to think about. Could it happen quicker? Absolutely. I'm not going to put a time limit on it, but what I'm saying is that when you look at projects like, for instance, Cardano, I like to use that as a good project that people are very well aware of, and is just a massive project now. It's actually number 8 on the coin market cap. If you're looking at your screen right here, it's got a $40 billion market cap, and they still haven't even completed their project, because these cryptos that you see on these coin market caps, these are visions. Polkadot, they have their vision. Okay, they're still working, they're still developing, right? But they don't have anything close to what we are bringing to the marketplace in terms of a use case. So what people are going to do, there are Polkadot followers, right, that are just like, it's like a cult following. There's Ripple. I mean, you guys are aware, the SEC stepped in and stopped Ripple in its tracks. Otherwise, Ripple would probably be worth $10 a token right now. It's worth about 82 cents a token. Why? Because people have bought into the vision of it. That's the key. People will buy into the vision of what Tectum will become, and how soon it gets adopted, we don't know. How soon, by this time next year, is your grocery store down the road going to start accepting Softnotes? If you take it to them and you tell them to set up a Tectum wallet and start minting Softnotes, yeah. But it's a vision. And I think the vision of what this is going to become it far exceeds the vision of all these tokens that you see in the top 10, top 20, top 30, top 100. There's nothing else out there like this that's going to impact the crypto world that people are going to want to see. Everyone's going to be, there's going to be a constant demand for what they're offering, for what we are offering to the marketplace. The soft notes are going to be something that everyone's going to want to use. It's going to make sense, and it's just going to grow. The bigger it gets, the faster it's going to grow. Okay, that when the penny doubles every day, it takes a while, right? You're 2 weeks in and you're still at like $1 or something, right? But then 2 weeks later, all of a sudden you're at 10 million. That's what's going to happen. It's going to start off very, very slow, but what you're investing in is the vision of what it will become. And I don't think that any other cryptocurrency makes the argument for that vision better than Tectum and the Softnote system. And I hope that makes sense to you guys. It's going to take time. But another thing that's going to make it go viral, guys, think about it. You're going to get paid. Ripple didn't pay you for referring Ripple. Polkadot didn't pay you for referring Polkadot. Nobody, they don't give you a dime. Does Polkadot want to send you a check for getting people to buy Polkadot? Absolutely not. They're not going to pay you a dime. This is going to actually allow you to participate monetarily in this vision, not just I mean, we could not have the referral aspect of this and it would still eventually go viral. But when you have the referral aspect of this on top of it, folks, this is eventually it's going to get so big that you can't stop it because people are just going to keep talking about it. You know, right now we have just over 2,100 users. Do you realize how infinitesimal that is? You talk, if this is below the basement ground floor, guys, wait, word of mouth is going to spread. People are going to start realizing it. When they actually come out with minting soft notes in May, it's going to explode. And when we get on the centralized exchanges and people start realizing what this project is, influencers start getting a hold of this. We are way before all that, guys. That's what you're looking at right now. When the influencers get a hold of this, wait till BitBoy finds out about it. You know, wait till some of these absolute just zealots, these crypto zealots that just love crypto and want to see crypto take over the world. Wait until they get a hold of what Tectum is doing in the Softnote system. Go ahead. I'll give it back to you, Alex.
I'm gonna try to answer more questions if you don't mind, Mark.
Go for it. Anybody got any more questions?
Yeah. Albert is asking how to create and run a node. Albert, there's like one thing we all need to understand. Tectum is a consensus as service, which means we modify, we tailor consensus to your needs. In this particular project, Softnote uses private mode, which means that node is an entity. It's a commercial entity, unincorporated commercial entity designed to produce profit. So right now, currently, we have a very nice spiritual number, 12 nodes running, out of which I believe 9 is sold, or 10. The last node was sold for $250,000, and it's very cheap. What do nodes do? Well, you don't create a node. You get an interface to operate your node. Interface looks just like Tectum wallet. It's basically a Tectum wallet with additional functions and additional metrics and statistics you see when transaction is processed. Node owners, nodes are rewarded in tech coins, not directly in BTC or other cryptocurrencies. And when tech coins are collected, you as a node owner are free to burn those tech coins with a push of one button and get your BTCs out. So we are 100% fanatics of a gold standard. We believe that it's your funds and you're eligible to have your money back anytime you want. That's our principle.
So how many nodes do you anticipate selling the license to?
For the soft node operation, I don't see that number exceeding 100. We just basically, you see soft node cluster, we call it a cluster, Tectum cluster, which regulates, which governs and controls soft node ledger, which is basically comprised of previous pin codes, right? Of a pin code of a former owner, because that's what really proves the payment. Pin code, change of pin code proves the payment. and it's a very lightweight ledger, and it's run by this cluster, and in return for that ledger of truth, that's how we sometimes call it, the cluster receives the remaining 40% reward. And that 40% is being evenly split between the nodes. At this point, evenly because they all located, they all placed and operated under the same conditions on the same type of hardware. So it's only just and fair to split it evenly between those nodes, and therefore every node is equal because they have equal rating. It's a private commercial setting. In the future, in a very nearby future, by the end of the summer, we intend to start distributing nodes in a way that people and/or entities will be able to run and operate that node on their own hardware and using their own resources. But once that happens, different algorithms will come to play because different hardware will have different performance, different internet speed, network bandwidth, blah, blah, blah. So it will all affect the rating of the nodes. So some nodes will start producing better results by showing better performance than other nodes. But since we're using proof of utility and not proof of work and not proof of stake, so there is no mining going on. And as we all know, mining is thousands and thousands of times more energy consuming than minting. Since we're using proof of utility, the entire landscape will remain very low key and very effective, very, very energy efficient. So we're not afraid of really releasing Tectum nodes into circulation. It's just everybody needs to understand that Tectum node is designed to produce income, so we're not giving them away for free. That's the base principle, which will not change in respect when it comes to Softnote, to the Softnote network, because Softnote network must be decentralized in order to be untouchable, in order to be democratic. That ledger cannot be concentrated in one pair of hands. We don't want to be responsible for that ledger.
No, well, that's a red flag for anybody from the outside.
Exactly. So our basically we have two primary goals, missions per se, when we created that model of a decentralized Tectum ledger to run a Softnote operation. The first one is obviously redundancy and stress resistance. So when, for example, when there is a war right now in Europe, and some data centers might go down. Who knows? And but we are safe because we have one server in Taiwan, one server in Ireland, one server in the US, one server in Brazil. We really don't care. And the second one is the actual validity, the source of truth. We need to be able, without any shadow of a doubt, to prove anyone that Softnote build does exist. It did have this passcode, and that passcode was changed 5 seconds ago. That means the payment took place. And Tectum nodes are responsible for that. If that answered your question.
It does. Is there somebody that I can offline with on a little more detail about the node and pricing and all that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Contact Mark and schedule to Mark, and Mark will handle it, and I will kick in when it comes to technical part and financial part. Yeah,
Okay,
Mark.
we'll do that. We'll do that later. Thanks.
Yeah. Mark. Maybe it's worth it for you to throw your Telegram ID into the chat, so
Sure.
everybody could would have equal opportunity to contact you if they have questions.
Yep.
After the seminar is over. Okay, in the next, let's say I want to use Softnote in El Salvador airport. Let's say I use $20 Softnote bill and my item costs $15. How will I receive my change? I ask for $5 back. This year. Next year, I'm sure that retailer will already have a change for you. I'm sure that will not be a problem. There is multiple ways to receive changes. In the early adoption stages, I would just ask for $5 back from a retailer. Later this summer, this fall, I would just ask my mobile Softnote mobile app to change that $20 for me to $4 or $5 bills. And or just basically break that $20 into $4-5 bills using a Telegram bot, because we're going to make Telegram bots available to everybody. It's going to be open source. So there are multiple ways of breaking your Softnote bills. And further we'll go, more opportunities we will make available to the user base. So I would not worry about that. What would it take to fund one set 100 bills? What denominations will be made? I believe we published it. Matthew, we would love to show you tokenomics. Mark, when do you think tokenomics will be available for the next AMA? Like a
I would
complete
think so, yeah.
breakdown, bill breakdowns and stuff
Yep.
like this.
Yep.
Yeah. We'll make it available very soon, Matthew. You're welcome. Mark, I believe I answered all questions.
I think so. I'm not seeing any other chat questions coming through. Anybody got anything else? All right. Great questions, guys. Appreciate it. We'll have this recording out as well so you can share it. But okay, it says how much is a node, and that was just asked by Albert earlier, and we were just saying you guys can get in touch with us to find out about that. But no problem. No problem, Brian. I just put there in the chat my Telegram as well as my cell phone. So feel free to call or get me on Telegram, whatever you like. You got it, Brian. No problem, buddy. Okay, I think we're finished here. We'll get better and better at this as we go, but this was my first actual opportunity to talk. And
great seminar, Mark. Great.
Well, it's a good start. So here we are, folks. But thanks a lot for coming on. And I wish you all a great night and a great rest of the week. And we'll talk to you guys again next week. We'll be doing this same time next Monday. I highly recommend that you bring your friends to this. And we'll see you guys again soon.